Hajamleta kwamba Zuchu bwana huyu.
Hajawahi kuniletea Zuchu anataka kumuoa. Mimi Zuchu kwanza najua msanii wake. Anaweza ukata na wanawake hata 100. Mungu hajaamrisha kuoa. Mimi ninachojua mimi mchumba yule alopeleka mahari.
Watu wanajua kwamba Diamond na Zuchu wanatoka kimahusiano.
Wanajuaje? Wanakuja chumbani. Dunia hii toka imeanza nasibu kuanza muziki. Hakuna mtu asoambiwa bibi yake.
Unafikiri Zuchu anajisikiaje hizo kauli zako unazoongea?
My people, it's a lot to unpack, honey. It's a lot to unpack, and we're going to sip this tea. We're going to sip this tea. So that video was Mama Dangote doing an interview, I think a year ago, when she was being asked about Zuchu. That is the interview, the last interview I think Mama Dangote did, talking about Zuchu, saying that she doesn't believe Zuchu and Diamond are in a relationship, or she doesn't like Zuchu. Yeah, she basically said a lot about Zuchu that gave us insight on Diamond Platnumz in relationship and the nature of the relationship. So, look at your screen. That was literally the first time that Zuchu's mother was seeing Zuchu after Zuchu disappeared from their home when Diamond Platnumz's niece came to deliver Diamond Platnumz's news to Zuchu. For those who still don't know what I'm talking about, Zuchu was supposed to be married, or rather, her dowry was supposed to be paid on January 31st. Sorry, I had written December, but I got the month wrong. It was January 31st was when Zuchu was supposed to be engaged. They were supposed to pay her dowry, but Diamond got the cold feet, and he decided to back out, include suggesting to Zuchu that Ricardo Momo should marry Zuchu instead, but he will be like the husband, acting husband, but Ricardo Momo will be the one to be like marrying Zuchu. Zuchu said, no, I ain't doing that. It's a lot, honey. It's a lot. I'm like, what? Diamond doesn't want to be seen as Zuchu's husband so bad that she's suggesting that the brother should be the one to marry Zuchu in public, but he will be the husband in private? Oh my God. It's a lot. It's a lot. So let's start. No, I know what I'm talking about right now doesn't make sense to you. It wasn't to me either. But when I play for you this interview with my mother, as we're going to chop it bits by bits, you'll get the context of what I'm trying to say. If you're on Mangi app, you know what Mangi said. Only what Mangi said was already said few hours before Mangi revealed her story. So that means that somewhat it could be true. Anyway, let's start from here first of all.
Mathalan ni mtu ambaye umekatia tamaa ndoa ya Zuchu na Diamond, unaona kama umeshakubali?
Ile ni ngumu sana. Hapa ilipofikia ni mtihani mkubwa sana, na najutia kile kitendo nilichokuwa nakifanya cha kumshabikia Zuchu sana bila kupata habari za.
Hey you guys, let's stop there first of all. My mother started by saying the marriage between Diamond Platnumz and Zuchu will be a little bit hard. Like, it's hard at this point because things are not the way they seem on public. She even regretted encouraging Zuchu to continue fighting for her relationship with Diamond Platnumz. And that is what I talked about when I was telling Zuchu's fans, stop encouraging this madness. Because I'm like, till when will you guys see the clear picture that clearly Diamond doesn't love Zuchu? Why are you encouraging her to continue being in a place where she's not only wanted but also not needed? Okay? Anyway, let's continue.
Pande wakina Mama Dangote. Ninajutia sana. Lakini kama mwanahabari, wao walichokuwa wanakifanya walikuwa wanaficha habari zao. At least nimeambiwa jana, imebidi niwaambie nini kinaendelea.
My mother went ahead and say, I regret not listening to both sides of the story because as it was out there, the media trying to paint a picture where Mama Dangote is the evil stepmother that is constantly bullying and harassing her daughter-in-law, who is Zuchu. But I wish I could have listened to Mama Dangote's side of the story before I judge. That is what my mother was trying to say. According to her, she said she finally had a conversation with Mama Dangote, and now she can clearly judge things because now he has heard both of the parties. Okay?
Ni mshauri Zuchu, ndugu zako wapende na ndugu za mme wako. Sasa hiyo mwanangu Zuchu, mtoto wa mkwe wangu, ameshindwa, na ndio inayosababisha Zuchu mpaka leo hii hata barua ya uchumba asipewe, kwa sababu ilikuwa
Mother went ahead and said that after talking with Mama Dangote, she concluded that Zuchu need to love Mama Dangote's family, not only Diamond Platnumz. I've heard Mama Dangote talk similar, but I still don't get this love, quote unquote, because apparently you all know that Tanzanians, they're more like Arabs. You know, the Arabs like to live with the mother-in-law, and also Indians. They like to live with the mother-in-law and sisters and brothers in the same house. And probably Zuchu don't want that setup. Zuchu wanted to be only me and my husband. So I think that's why Mama Dangote feel like Zuchu don't like them. And also I've heard that Zuchu is very, very instigative. She will tell Diamond Platinum staff to make trouble between Diamond and his siblings. That is what I've heard some blogs said about Zuchu. That is one of the real reasons why Mama Dangote don't like Zuchu like that. And my mother went ahead to advise Zuchu, you need to learn how to love your in-laws, because by not doing that, you're not getting the ring, or rather, that's why Diamond is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Anyway, let's continue.
Wiki ile ya Valentine's, maandalizi, wakaelewana, ikawa iwe basi ya siri. Kuna wakati Nasibu akakataa, akasema bwana, mimi bwana, mambo ya kuonekana na wao sasa hivi bado mapema sana, basi aje Domomo. Zuchu akakataa.
Oh my Lord, that part, yo, that part. How does Diamond even suggest that his brother be the one to marry Zuchu on public, and he'll be the one to live with Zuchu because he doesn't want people to see him married? And the excuse that they normally come with, that is Diamond Platnumz's foot soldier and Diamond Platnumz himself, is if he get married, he will lose a female fan base. Oh my God. I'll be like, what the... Yani Diamond will say anything for an excuse. Everything. Diamond wanted a silent, quiet marriage, but Zuchu was like, I want my marriage to be the marriage. So allegedly, Zuchu's mother invited everybody, include their relatives here in Kenya.
Bana tena na Diamond, basi Diamond akasema nakuja mimi mwenyewe, lakini naomba iwe siri. Kwa Zuchu ikawa sio siri. Wakaalikuwa ndugu wa Mombasa, wakaalikuwa ndugu wa Dar, wakaalikuwa marafiki zake Zuchu. Siku ya Alhamisi Zuchu anapiga simu, anamuuliza Rahu, tuandae menyu gani? Akaambia Nasibu, mimi siji kukuletea habari ya posa, barua ya posa, mimi siji.
According to my mother, he's saying that finally Diamond agreed to marry Zuchu. And during Valentine, okay, remember when the Baba levels kept on saying that Zuchu is getting married, the talks were behind the scenes. So when finally Diamond decided, yeah, I will, they set up a date, a time. Diamond said that I wanted to be as low-key as possible. So instead of Zuchu following Diamond Platnumz's rules, they decided to invite almost everybody, including Zuchu's father came all the way from Zanzibar to come and be with her daughter. You know, it's a very special day, and Diamond was supposed to come with these people. And when Zuchu called Diamond, when the time was, too late, Diamond picked the phone and told Zuchu that I'm not coming. It's kind of different from Mangi's story, because Mangi said that Diamond wasn't picking up until later is when he called Zuchu's mother and said he's not coming.
Kwa sababu gani? Huelewani na wazazi wangu, huelewani na mama yangu, huelewani na dada yangu. Na inasemekana ndani ya nyumba Diamond, kwa mujibu wake Diamond anasema mimi lazima niweke chumba cha dada yangu na mama yangu, kwa sababu hawa ndio watu wangu. Sasa ninasikitika kama Zuchu anashindwa cooperate na wale watu. Kwa maana waishi pamoja.
My mother then go ahead and say that Diamond's reason for not marrying Zuchu, Diamond told Zuchu, you don't like my family, you don't like my mother, my sister. I want to live in the same roof with my family. I want us to enjoy all of us. And Zuchu doesn't want that. Zuchu wants to be only him and Diamond Platnumz. And I understand, you know, for example, me, that is something I wouldn't want to, not unless under other circumstances. But if my husband have that bag and we can afford our place and still manage to take care of his family financially, I want to be with my man, bro. I want to strengthen our foundation, our family. But unfortunately, Tanzania, they're still very, you know, family living together oriented. Like it's different. But anyway, let's listen to more of this because it was a very interesting interview. I'm wondering who is giving these people this detailed tea, the calls, who was called, what time, what was discussed. It's very, very interesting to know who is giving these people this detailed tea. You know, when my mother said that he finally was able to talk with Mama Dangote's people, I'm like, did they tell you all these specifics like this? Because it's similar with Mangi, but details are a little bit different, meaning the story could be maybe almost 100% true. Okay, let's listen to more.
Tegemea wewe mwenyewe tu, kwa sababu naishi hapa basi kila kitu mimi unakuwa unaitwa mchoyo. Na nasikia Wasafi wanamuita jamani mtoto wangu Zuchu wanamuita Google. Nasikia Nasibu akiwa wanaongea na huyu anajibu yeye Zuchu mwanangu.
That part of being given nickname, I would definitely believe it. Let me tell you why. Because you'll remember when Esma did the interview, she said that they've nicknamed Zuchu Mabegi Jew, meaning always packing up bags up. And as for Wasafi, my mother is saying the real reason why they gave Zuchu name Google is because when Diamond is having a conversation with some of employees, Zuchu be the one to speak. Like she has authority to also contribute to that conversation. Like you having to talk with your manager and also your supervisor at the same time. Zuchu feel like she is the supervisor to Diamond Platnumz. Diamond Platnumz is the manager and he's the supervisor. And that's why Wasafi people don't, you know, F with her like that. And I will get that. And that's why I told you that Wasafi people were trolling Zuchu. They were definitely trolling her when they were posting things that they post, when they're talking about how they're speaking, is because they don't like her as a person. She's a disgusting person to them, based on what I'm hearing coming off of my mother's mouth. Let's listen to more of this.
Mimi sijui nimefanyaje wakati bado uko kwenye lebo ya Wasafi, wakati bado unasimamiwa na Wasafi. Juzi hapa Diamond alichoka. Akamwambia Zuhura, sikiliza. Si unajua masharti ya Wasafi? Una mkataba, unaujua mkataba wako wa miaka mingapi? Okay, ondoka. Nenda unakutaka kwenda. Mimi sijali. Ila mwanasheria unamjua, nenda kamuone mwanasheria, atakupa utaratibu. Ukitaka kujitoa kwenye lebo ya Wasafi, Zuhura akaona nitakufa. Baada siku ya kwanza ya pili nasikia akaambiwa nenda rudi kwa Nasibu. Huyo akaenda kwa Nasibu, siku ya pili tunamwona anaenda visiwani kwenye show.
And of course, she finished by telling Zuchu, you don't have to marry Diamond. It's not a must you get married. You're still young. You can still find somebody who will love you for you. If Diamond want to deal with you, and yes, you have that bag, which allegedly he ain't giving nobody, okay? Diamond is stingy as F to his women. But anyway, so my mother is telling Zuchu, you don't have to marry him. If he want to be with you, you can just tell him, yeah, I'm coming, but you must know that I need this amount of money, you know, and you can build yourself and you can become a very successful, respectful people instead of constantly embarrassing yourself and your family on public like this. Like you're putting your family's name to shame. to be honest, women don't beg for marriage. It has never happened, even in Western countries where, people are open-minded. Anyway, so my mother also went ahead and say at some point Diamond got very, very upset with Zuchu's behavior, because Diamond told Zuchu, okay, you are reacting like this. If you really want to leave Wasafi, go and see the lawyer, have a conversation. You know what we want when somebody want to breach the contract. You know how many years you still have left in Wasafi. So what will happen is, go and see the lawyer, see what you owe us, and let's finish this ish. And then when Zuchu went there and find that she cannot afford that, she came back to Diamond Platnumz, and of course the following day, that is when she was seen going to perform at the show. But all in all, I still remained with my question, my dollar bill question: who is giving these people this detailed tea? We hear gossip in celebrities where a celebrity was seen somewhere with so-and-so. It's not so detailed: phone calls, what time, how it went, what they eat, what they wear. It's just too much information that the only people who can give them is either two people who are involved or the third party who is very close to either of them. But anyway, it is what it is. Tell me how you all feel about it down in the comment section. I'll come back with more tea because there's a lot to unpack, especially today. Anyway, keep it classy. Stay, Mrs. You, my next one. Adios.